So, I can't remember who it was, but they're like, I like that it's so nice and simple and easy. You just start off with so, and then you kind of ease into the topic. So, we need more companies and people and stuff like that to do this, to call out things for what they are. So Moon Studio CEO describes Dragon Age the Veilguard writing as infantile and terrible, which it is. We've watched in the past week 5 clips. There was the flirting scene between Rook and Tosh. There was the scene of with Tosh about but the bodies are, the corpses are wrong. They used to have humans in them. That. There was the Tosh at this table with her mom, and she sits down. She's like, "I'm non-binary." Uh, and then she gets in an argument with her mom. There was the uh I'm gonna kiss you. I can't believe I'm really going to kiss that. And then there was the pulling the bob. So 5 scenes in just a week that display what you can expect from the game. The numbers are terrible. I'm watching Az play right now. He's almost 12 hours into just this stream. He's been playing pretty much since it came out. The puzzles this far in the game, he doesn't have to think about them. You don't have to this far into the game, and you don't have to think about the puzzles because they're all pretty much holding your hand. Like, hey, you should do this. Come on, it'll be fun. So there's no challenge. There's no, but Moon Studio CEO Thomas Mahler described the writing of BioWare's um, recently released Dragon Age Veilguard as infantile and terrible. Well, it is. So we need more people to do this. In a recent post to Twitter, Mahler, who is currently developing No Rest for the Wicked, wrote, I grew up in the 80s. Even as a young boy back then, I always thought TV shows were low effort trash because every show back then was trying to be as politically correct as possible. Every show was about happy families, always trying to paint the perfect picture. Um, always, always being careful not to talk about anything cool, in the slightest, or anything that could be in the slightest controversial, except for Degrassi. It went there. Then The Simpsons and Fresh Prince of Bel Air dropped, and stuff suddenly felt radical because every now and then the writers of these shows dared to approach subjects that were real. I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with having certain messages, but when it's now and it's in literally everything. Well, no, I shouldn't say literally everything, but those were stories based in the real world. So you had like the Winslows who were living in a real city. You had you know, the Tanners living in San Francisco. Although Full House is, you know, but like Uncle Phil, his family, Bel Air, these were real places. This is a game in a fake place, made up, and yet somehow they're working real world politics and real world ideological bullcrap into this fake universe that they've created. And people are tired of it. Um, and even with Simpsons, Springfield, I mean, look how many Springfield. Actually, they actually narrowed it down to where have kind of found where Springfield is, which Springfield it is. So even Springfield, but it's okay to topics about like drugs or safe sex or back with when they would do topics about racism or something. they did it in a way that wasn't in your face. You know, not Full House, Family Matters. You know, the episode with the racism, with Laura trying to get the history month, you know, like every month and all that, having class, you know, the class teach Black history every month. And then with the racism, they didn't make it like, oh, well, all white people are just racist. No, they just said some people are ignorant. They went about it in a good way. They didn't just blame everyone. It's like, oh, well, if your skin color is this, then you're this way. No. So back then, they had finesse, they had subtlety. So even when they had a message, it was still there. Nowadays, games are just, it's in your face. It's in your freaking face. Again, Tosh sits down at the table. I'm non-binary. Real subtle there. Um, then in the late 90s, The Sopranos dropped, and suddenly it was clear that TV shows didn't have to be trash. That the episodic format could actually be used to give even more insight to characters, their trials and tribulations. I was about to say stuff like Breaking Bad. And it's in that moment when he truly became Heisenberg. I love you watch clips of like Breaking Bad, and every single clip is like, this is the moment he became Heisenberg. This is the moment he became Heisenberg. There was really no full true moment where he was always Heisenberg. It's just that this other part of him was now able to be more out in the open than being like this reserved sort of kind of man. So Heisenberg was always there. It's just that doing certain things finally allowed Walt to, you know, bring that Heisenberg out. Um, he then turned his attention to Dragon Age, the Veilguard, and video games. Look at games now. It's clear that we're apparently moving back to the Stone Age of political correctness. I just watched your Dragon Age playthrough, and it's quite unfathomable how infantile and terrible the writing is. Everything feels sanitized and dehumanized. It feels like people who are trying to cater to certain people while also trying to, you know, make it friendly, which is weird. I'm gonna pull a Bov. I don't know why we're suddenly thinking that this is okay. Your job as a writer is to write about things that are heartfelt, interesting, and true. To draw people into the world that you've created, and this is the best you can come up with. You shouldn't be a writer in the first place. Yeah, yeah. I hate to sound harsh because I'm sure these people had the best intentions in mind. But this is what happens when art is created by amateurs. When we have to walk on eggshells and don't dare approach difficult subjects. And yet you end up with a bland and bad product instead of art. That's what I said. You know, whenever you try to pander or try to please a certain group of people and you step around certain things, you're going to end up with a subpar product and no one's going to want it. Whether it be a game or a movie or whatever. Like the dialogue in this game feels like it was written by children or run through AI or something. Always approaching writing from a human angle first, draw from your own experiences, and dare to approach subjects that might seem risky. Because often magic happens when we're okay of making ourselves vulnerable. Yeah, that's where the best stories come from. Not from stuff that you can make up, but from personal experiences and then working ideas into those experiences. Like Lord of the Rings. Yeah, there you go. Mahler is not only the only one to criticize the game's dialogue and writing. Uh, Twitter user Ciel put together a compilation of scenes since. Oh God. All right, it's like 4 minutes long, but Just bear with me. You'll.
I could kiss you right now. I'm going to kiss you right now.
You're barely even wearing a shirt.
So what I wear is a problem for you?
It's not. It's just... Why dress like that? Are you trying to make your mother happy? It's just something my mother said the other day. And I act more like a man than a woman. I am not my mother. It feels... right. When she says I act more like a man.
Oh my god.
It feels...
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Why does it feel right?
Do you like being a woman?
Nobody likes being a woman.
Ooh.
If something about being a woman is hurting you,
Not feeling comfortable in their own skin? As a man, as a woman?
Oh my god.
Turn her into something blighted and ugly and wrong. Something she was never supposed to be.
They don't even know what they're saying right there.
I can't even be a woman right. Are you trying to have sex with me? So I'm non-binary. Is it because I didn't fit as a woman? Is it why I don't fit as a woman?
Tosh,
The shadow dragons say there are people who use they instead of he or she. They're not men or women. And I like how it feels when I imagine myself that way.
What does that mean?
It means I don't feel like a man or a woman.
If you are neither a man nor a woman, then what are you?
Non-binary. I just said, and I'm going to use they instead of she from now on. Quick, think about us having sex. So now we need to figure out if it's cash lock or Tom lock. And maybe think about him for fun. Tom lock is serious. Like you want to grab that and taste its neck right by the collarbone. Not a woman. Or a man. The shadow dragons had some fancy terms, but using they and knowing that, it feels good. I just have to break something, and I can get stuck in arguments, needing things to be a certain way. So I'm supposed to struggle with who I am? Even if I don't feel like I fit, even if I feel wrong? Dragons wouldn't have kings. They'd have queens.
Maker's panties. I was so proud.
Did you just misgender?
They're still holding it. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
What are you doing?
Yeah, show your
Pulling
sorry.
above.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pulling
okay.
a brap.
A barv?
A brap.
When one of us screws up and we know we've screwed up, we do a quick 10 to put it right. Pulling above.
And don't you ever misgender again.
Oh, Tarsh isn't the first non-binary member of the Lords.
really?
It was a little before your time, but Horlicks was one of ours.
Huh.
Bastard looked better than I did in a dress or pants. Sometimes people say, oops, sorry, and hope that fixes it. But they just want to get the whole thing over with. Trust me, I know. But pulling a barv, you sweat a little. Makes you think about it a little more. Shows the other person you mean it.
What if they mean it when they say they're sorry, though?
And that's the other reason. Some people mess up and get all dramatic. They make it about them. Oh, you know, I didn't mean it right. I'd never do that on purpose. They feel so bad about it that it's on everyone else to smooth it over and make them feel better.
Hey, who ate the last breaded cheese wand?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I guess I thought, well... I know what I have to do.
I'm pulling a barv.
1, 2, 3...
Heart's in the right place. Form's a little sloppy, though.
Bend your knees.
I say, we do not bend the knee.
Da 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 da. So that's just. Oh, there's actually a full video. Okay, so we weren't missing anything. It was pretty much, this was just kind of the end part of the video. There's just the guy talking or whatever before, and like a 9-minute video, so we're not missing much. It's like 3.5 minutes or so of him showing other stuff. But yeah, this is the dialogue that was written. You can tell that like Tasha's whole thing is her not being non-binary, and oh, no one understands me, and I need to feel comfortable, and quick, think about us having sex. Garbage and cringe. Ugh. Streamer Asmongold also shared, "Sup y'all, it's me, it's your boy Asmongold. Personally, someone who came into this game like I've never played at Dragon Age before. This is my first game in the series. I thought it sucked. It wasn't bad, so it wasn't terrible. It wasn't up, but it wasn't down. It was just kind of not really that good." Later in the video, he stated, "I don't like the dialogue at all." Certainly interesting brief there. Okay, well, doesn't want to load the rest. So, and I think it's just the, let's see. Yep, it's just that one for whatever reason. Just that one. But yeah, you're getting paid to write a story that's supposed to connect with people, and instead, this is the stuff we get. And because of the way things have gone, they just expect you to just oh my god, and just slop it all down. They really don't think that any gamer has standards, so they push out this subpar crap and just expect you to consume and throw, $60, $70, $80, $90 at a game that's terrible simply because, you've got some diversity or something. But there's no good writing and the game itself is just bad. It's not worth, like, this game, the way it is, and it's not getting any DLC or anything. This game is probably like $40, $50. Certainly not 60, 70, or 80. It's not, nah, not even close. But yeah, infantile and terrible it is. It's also childish. Again, it sounds like it was written by a 10-year-old, or, I've said already numerous times about the whole Tumblr fanfic, how these writers went onto Tumblr, found a fanfic, and decided to make a fanfic of the fanfic, and just added Dragon Age characters to it. It's just terrible. It's terrible writing. And you could see how the animations were, how stiff they are. When I see her talk, it kind of reminds me of Barbossa in Kingdom Hearts 2. That was the PlayStation 2, and that's how the movements look. So, I can't believe we're actually looking at a game this terrible in current day. But here we are. Here we are. And they just keep doing it because they know they can get away with it at this point. Because, they'll just label anyone who judges it as the vocal minority and accuse anyone of being a phobist or ism. While they have their little people, their little stay away from big company, having those people coming out and defending them. And I've said before, as long as there's one person who's constantly just, you leave big corporation alone, as long as there's one person like that, things aren't going to change. Because there's not going to be a reason for the companies to change. Once people start really speaking with their wallets and not buying this crap anymore, when instead of making, having streams of like, or people gain, what was it, 180,000 or something? So instead of like having a peak player count of like 89,000, over a couple days, you only have like a couple because people just stop playing because they're tired of it. Things won't change if nothing happens. Everyone just sits there and be like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not going to change. Look at all the games that are just like this that came out this year that have failed because they're just like this. Terribly written, terribly executed. The game is bad. So, but yeah, infantile and terrible. It is. Everything about it. Again, I've been watching ads, like he's been streaming for 12 hours. This is how the game is. It's not that hard. The puzzles are stupid simple. And he's like, I'm trying to go as far as possible because once we beat the game, I'm uninstalling it and getting that, 80, 90 gigs back onto my thing here. So, but yeah. Anyway, if there's a moment, if you've played the game, first, let me know if you've played the game. And two, if there's a moment that you can think of that isn't one of the ones that we saw, let me know. Something that really represents the terrible writing. But anyway, that's going to do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.